Welcome to video 28, Simplifying Fractions.
Right, now, so, just very quickly recapping on video 27, which was equivalent fractions. These are two equivalent fractions. We have 2/6, and an equivalent fraction for that is 4/12. I can get to 2/6 and 4/12 by multiplying these numbers by 2. If you remember Mrs. Williams splitting the sections up into smaller parts, cutting them into smaller parts. And if I do that to the denominator, I have to do exactly the same thing to the numerator. So here we go. There it is. Simplifying fractions is near enough exactly the same idea. The only idea is we get it to its simplest form, which looks a little bit like its smallest form, but smallest form is not the right word to use, because smallest makes it sound like it's a smaller fraction. That isn't the case. It is an equivalent fraction, exactly the same as these two are equivalent fractions. Simplest form means that we have it in its simplest form. For example, if we're using 2/6, what could we divide 2 and 6 by? Well, I know that 6 is in my 2 times table, so actually that is equally divisible. We can't have any remainders, so we can't have any decimal places. We have to use our factor knowledge almost to work with these. So I know actually 2 is a factor of 6, so I can actually divide both of these by 2. And 2 divided by 2 equals 1. And 6 divided by 2 equals 3. So here we go, we have another equivalent fraction. 1/3 is the same as 2/6. And in this case, this is our simplest form because we can't divide these by anything else. We can't divide 1 by any other number that won't give us a decimal place. So this is its simplest form. You will find all unit fractions are in their simplest form. Non-unit fractions may or may not be in its simplest form. That will depend on the numbers that you're using. Right, now it's your time to have a go. We've got 4/12. I want you to find 4/12 is simplest form. Now, you can go through a couple of different ways, or you can just use your fluency and look straight away at what you could divide both of those numbers by. Either way, so long as you get to its simplest form at the end, it'll be correct. We're going to pause the video now and give you a chance to have a go. Right, now the first way I'm going to show you is not really the fluent way, but it is a way of almost chunking it down. So the first thing I can do is I could divide, these are both even numbers, so I know I can divide both of these by 2. So I'm going to do that. By 2 divided by 2, which will give me 2/6, and then again that is an equivalent fraction, both even numbers. I could do exactly the same thing again, which is going to give me 1/3. So our simplest form is 1/3. But actually, that's not a very fluent way of doing it. So let's have another look at doing it. There's nothing wrong with how I've done that. It's just that we can do it quicker and more fluently by using our common factor knowledge. So thinking about way back onto video, can't remember, but it was in the teens, we had factors. And we looked at common factors. And a common factor is a number that both of these are divisible by. Now we know that 2 is divisible by that, but actually, can we think of any others? 4 is a divisible number, so let's divide it straight away by 4. So 4 divided by 4 equals 1, 12 divided by 4 equals 3, and we have 1/3, it's the same, but this is a more fluent way of working it out. Right, to our number mind map, and our getting very complicated number mind map. We're going to be zooming into this section here to look at our simplifying fractions. Alright, simplifying fractions here. And if you remember, simplifying fractions, actually I'm not going to need to write a massive amount here because all we need to do is really link this information to other information that we've had before. So I'm going to be linking it to our equivalent fractions here because here we were dividing. I am going to write that simplifying fraction means a fraction in its simplest form. We needed to use our multiplication knowledge, and we needed to use our division knowledge. We also, if we were using a fluent way of doing it, we needed to use our common factor knowledge.